Working it off.
Ohio Fish Rescue.
That is the cost
Pretty
of
crazy,
admission.
man. Strongsville, Ohio. It is an amazing place to visit. So if you're ever in that area, it's not that far from Cleveland or Lorain, but if you're ever in the area, you can always check to see if they're open, and then you can come by and see the fish rescue. So the fish rescue, on this particular trip, I stayed there for the weekend, and, you know, BigRich, that's BigRich right there with the world's greatest mullet. He put us to work right away, and by us, I mean Jeremy and his son, Ted Leighty. And these guys, I stay with these guys a lot, so they come out here with me to the fish rescue. So there you go. There's the inside. When you first come into the Ohio Fish Rescue, you either go out the side door or you go through the house. And it's a pretty big house. It's a 10,000 square foot house. So you come into this area. There's a couple tanks there with axolotls. And then, you know, you walk into the big main pool room. There's always some volunteers there that help out. This is a 56,000 gallon pool full of gigantic fish. I mean, some of these fish are over 6 feet long. Most of them are over 3 feet long. And I'm not talking about the cichlids, of course, but I'm talking about the big monster fish that are in there. So there's hundreds, maybe thousands of the mbuna in there, and they don't get eaten by the big fish. They just kind of swim around, and they avoid getting eaten. But they are breeding. They are breeding in there, and look at that. That's a giant barb, the julienne barb. It's almost no one's ever seen them that big. So a lot of these fish are donation fish. These fish come from people that have bought them, not realizing how big they'll get. But some of these fish were bought purposely to give a little bit of attraction to the place, like the big arapaimas right there that you see. There's one in there that's at least 6 feet. So it's my fish fam badge, fish fam link. And here's some kids. So these kids were visiting with their family, and we decided that since we were feeding already, we'll let them have a little fun. So we didn't let them put their hands in the water while they're feeding, because that could cause injury. Some of these fish have big teeth or really strong mouths. But we let them throw the food in. And this is pieces of tilapia. Small cut pieces of tilapia and shrimp. And you can see the mbuna swarming the food. So, some platinum alligator gars, arowanas. There's pops. And then, guess what? Their hands stunk really bad, so we gave them a little bit of Something's Fishy. So Something's Fishy is an organic spray that takes the smells off your hands. And it's harmless to the animals, harmless to your aquariums. These girls were having a lot of fun. This is the first time seeing something like this. A real experience for them. You should always, consider doing things like this for your kids. Something's Fishy. Use code SCLZ and you can get 10% off online. Where the Something's Fishy spray comes in citrus and in tropical. Here's a close-up of the bigger arowana, and that's Brutus. I forgot the name of the smaller arowana, but the smaller arowana is about 4.5, 5 feet, and then Brutus is about 6 to 6.5 feet. So these big arapaimas are a treat. But you see the big catfish swim below. That's a ripsaw catfish. And that is a giant Distischotus, that little black fish in the back. And then there's a giant barb. Ripsaw catfish, about 4 feet long. These things are very kind of frightening fish. So that big one right there is almost 4 feet long. That's julienne barb. Julienne barbs are a fish that people don't realize can get that big. That's an arowana. It's about a 3-footer. And these guys they're pretty tame. Every now and then they'll try to eat your hand, but they don't have big teeth or anything. There's a hybrid cat on the bottom. Then in the back corner right there, you can see that's a marbled gar, alligator gar. Those hybrid cats are, you know, red tail times tiger shovel nose. That there is a platinum alligator gar, and there's 2 of them in this pond. Beautiful fish. Look at that thing. They're not full-sized yet. They can get at least 6 feet. There is a short-bodied regular alligator gar, and a regular alligator gar can get almost 10 feet, but a short-bodied one is stunted, so its spine is partially fused, so it won't grow huge. So look at all those mbunas, so many mbunas. And I think that's a ripsaw cat right there. Yeah, that's another ripsaw. Yeah, ripsaw cats are always up close because they like to get the food. These are big pieces of slate on the bottom. They're real slippery when you're in the pool because you stand on them and they're covered in algae. And you can't get a footing on there. Now in the back, you see those fish in the back? I don't know if you saw that one swing by. That's one of the Pangus cyanodons, or Pangasius cats right there. So they call them Peroon sharks. That is a very fast fish. It's a very shy fish too. There's another platinum gar right there. Ooh, scared him a little bit. There's some. You can see Pangasius cats and the Peroon sharks right there. There's 3 Peroons right there, all good size, all about 3 feet. And there's a giant albino gourami right there. There used to be a 12-pound peacock, or more than 12-pound peacock bass in here, but it passed away from old age. Now in the main room, there's a 3,300-gallon tank that has giant pacu in it. And there's some peacock bass in there, some smaller ripsaw cats. But some of these black pacus here probably weigh about 40 or more pounds, 50 pounds, close to. Red belly pacus that are more common in the hobby don't get that big. There's an albino pacu. You can see the younger, about 2-foot ripsaw cats down there. These pacus are between 2 and 3 feet, so there's one that's really big too. I'm not sure which one it is, but there's one in there that's probably 50 or 60 pounds. There's a smattering of different catfish in here. Tiger shovel nose, ripsaws. There's a hybrid cat. There's a lynx cat down there. That's one of the more expensive catfish in the hobby. Pretty rare. Looks kind of bluish in there under the water. And look at the teeth on those things, man. You don't want to get them crushed. You don't want to get your fingers crushed in those teeth. They're like the teeth of a lamb. Here's you can see at the back there. There's a fly river turtle. Here's some albino Matoro rays, and like caramel, I guess they call them caramel. I don't know. You can see a stinger on the back of that one. Then there's some pearl rays, some ringed rays. Photo bombing fly river, one of like 3 fly rivers. The rescue has them in different areas, so they're not full grown yet. The one of them's pretty big, but the other 2 are medium sized. That is a vampire tetra. There's a catfish there. I can't tell what kind it is from this video. In the back, you can see a 2,400-gallon tank in the back that has some other fish in it. This tank here, I can't remember how big it was. Probably 800 gallons, maybe. There's a lot of big tanks at the rescue, and they need them because they got to take in all these big fish that people can't keep. So here's some golden leucistic red-tailed catfish, and then there's some clown knives, royal clown knives in here. So these are at the bottom of the largest actual aquarium, the 4,400-gallon tank. And that's like somewhere in the neighborhood of like 20 feet by maybe 7 feet high. There's an albino Pangasius cat. And then there's a black spot cat right there. That's pretty rare. There's also a Shobi cat right there. And then there is a Giardini arowana. Then there is marble cat down there. And then there's the biggest fly river turtle at the facility. There's also some megalops, which we all know as tarpon. And, yeah, they do find in freshwater. There's a big gold barb right there. Huge gold barb. That's one of the biggest I've ever seen of that species. Then there's a red-tailed tinfoil barb. And this arowana is interesting. This silver arowana had a kink in his back when he was younger, and he just kept growing, and he survived. Most people would have euthanized this fish. The rescue keeps him around, lets him live his best life here. He'll probably die soon, but we'll see. You never know. There's another giant gourami there. There is a, oh, I forgot the name of that catfish, but beautiful. Here's an electric eel. They have about a 4-foot electric eel there. And you don't want to put your hands in that aquarium because it can shock you to the point of injury. So it's actually a little less than 4 feet. So one of my favorite catfish. That's the goonch catfish. And the goonch catfish comes from India. It can get up to 7 feet long, at least 7 feet long, possibly bigger, and has teeth like a shark. So you got to be real careful with that fish right there. There's another fly river turtle. And there's a big giant pleco in there. That's an Adonis pleco. I'll show you more of that Adonis later. There's the goonch catfish again. And here's some more. Here's some gold dot rays. Beautiful pearl ray there. Flower ray. Those are black pearls. Those are a very highly demanded ray. In California, you can't have them, so I like going out to the rescue and checking out all the different rays that they have there. Yellow dot ray, some, I forgot what you call those, circle rays. I don't know. Oscillated, oh yeah, oscillated rays. That's what you call them. This is an interesting one here. I don't know what this is called. There's a walking catfish. Some clown knives. Spotted gar. There's a longfin Oscar right there. It's not the healthiest specimen, but it's a, you know, rescue. Some more rays up close here. Just, I love the rays, so took a lot of video of the rays. I just love the way their fins undulate, their wings, if you want to call them. Some of them are velvety black, other ones are more chocolatey brown. Look at this guy. That's that one I showed you a while ago. And the ray family. Rays, 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 rays. All the different kinds of rays all together like that. Looks amazing. This is one of the greatest things they have here. It's an Australian lungfish. So this is an endangered species. They get up to about 5 feet and live a very long time. Here's a dorado. It's a type of cheracin, so it these ones get about 3 feet. Very fast fish. Excellent fighting fish if you're into fishing. So a lot of people will go down to South America to catch these fish. They release them, of course, but, you know, then the locals eat them. There's some different kinds of catfish below that. See the seams hiding under there. It might be like a Asian black catfish right there. They have a big tank of Frontosa. It's about a 10-foot tank, and it's different types of Frontosa mixed up. So some of the Frontosa enthusiasts would be upset seeing different types together. But there's MOBAs in here, there's Burundis, so both Giberosa and Frontosa. and the Campampas. Just, it's whatever has been donated. A lot of people buy Frontoses when they're small. You know, they can't keep them, so they donate them to the rescue. In the evening time, we had some of our friends come by, give them a tour of the facility. They're blown away. I've tried to get them to come to the facility. That's the axolotl girl and her son. And I tried to get them to come, but they almost didn't come, not realizing how cool it would be. So here's the pond at night. And then, you know, it's almost time for all the guests to stop coming in. Throughout the weekend of the OCA Extravaganza, there's going to be guests every year coming in and out like all day. So there's our company, Dragon's Axes, if you want some good axolotls. And she's got really good quality axolotls. So, you know, we just give them a tour. There's some smaller platinum gar, smaller albino, giant Grammy. So, fun end to the night is when we get to go swimming with the big fishes. That's me right there in the long hair and my goggles. And I'm in the pool with Wes Patrick, someone who practices arts with me, that's a good friend there. And my very good friend Sabu, Saburai Aquatics. And you'll meet Skylar here if you don't know Skylar. Videos. And you can hear what kind of fun we're having. There's Sabu checking out some red tail cats at his feet. He was just blown away. He was really excited to be able to come into the pool with us. With Skylar and Wes. The others won, of course. We're trying to get each other to fall off this floating mat. We don't harm the fish at all. You know, we don't have much contact with the fish, and you know, none of us have shampoos or anything like that coming off of our body. We're all rinsed off before going into the pool. The fish are not harmed by it. A lot of them will come up and just hang out with us. We're having a lot of fun. It's very hard to stand on that thing. Let's get some hang out. A long story between Skylar and I. It's funny. She's breeding some betas right now, so it's a lot of fun. She sends me some photos periodically. The marble guard came up to Sabu and he was able to pet her. So here's some final little gems. This is a blue-eyed spiny pleco. I don't know the L number there. If anyone does, please let me know. And this is one of the Lugubria plecos, or Lugubria pike cichlids. So that genus was revised, and it's now 5 different genuses. Here's some true parrot cichlid and a rivulatus right there, and then there's some Dorado, a smaller Dorado. Beautiful, beautiful red albino Oscar. Just one of the best I've ever seen. Nice color, nice shape. And here is a monster. This is the Acanthus adonis. This fish is about 30 inches long. Put my hand right there so you can see exactly how big this pleco is. Absolute beast. And yeah, including his little trailers there, he's about 30 inches long, but he's one of the biggest plecos I've ever seen in person. I might have seen one bigger in the Florida Everglades, and I'm not even sure what species it was, but they do get huge. And that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. Please like this video, subscribe, and share with others. That was the Ohio Fish Rescue in Strongsville, Ohio.